Hi creative friends, this is Freya and thank you so much for being here. So I did this portrait over here and I'm gonna bring it up closer just so you can see some of the beautiful stuff that's going on. And basically what I did in this portrait is I am exploring colors in a different way than I have been thus far. So I'm just going to show you, I'm going to kind of try to replicate the process of what I did over here. And this is a very fun and playful approach because I've been kind of just really curious about play. I want to invite more play into my work, and I think it's to temper some of the heaviness that is coming from my Healing Ancestral Trauma art journal. I'm just wanting to just you know, kind of be curious about playing, like not so much how is it going to turn out, but more approach it like, you know, I'm just going to be in the moment. I'm just going to be present and just see what happens. So basically what I did is I just put a little bit of color down. So I'm gonna just use some yellow. You can use whatever color you want. I'm just trying to kind of break up the energy a little bit, like the white space here. So I'm just gonna kind of go like so, and like that. And I want some orange, but I don't know. Let me see. I'm just gonna grab some orange here. So I'm just getting some color down on the page. Okay, you guys, so basically let me just use a lighter colored pencil here and do my sketch. So I do want to have some hair. So you guys, when you are drawing, it is good to use a lighter colored pencil. I'm using an H pencil just because I want the camera to pick up on my marks. But you know, if you use say a 6H or like an 8H or something like that, and all that does is if you have to erase your lines, then it's not going to damage your paper. So generally when you're drawing, you're going to use your lighter colored pencils, and then when you have placed your facial features correctly, etc., then you can use like darker colored pencils. So let's just go like so. And this is kind of coming off the page a little bit, which is fine. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to use some of my tea bags, and I have some of this handmade paper, which I think would be just really beautiful to put over there. So this is going to be like a very fun approach to color. Now, many years ago, I took a portrait class, and the teacher said that if you get your values correct, if you get your values right, you can use any color you want. And I didn't quite understand it then, but you know, as the years have gone on, I totally agree with that, which is why when I did those mini collages and even my 100-day project with the mixed media portraits, I wanted to explore my values, and I used a limited color palette. So I'm kind of working on, I'm kind of working on my values. But for this portrait, I am going to use the knowledge that I have got from the doing those projects, and I'm gonna go a little bit you know, I'm just gonna go full on with the color. Like, I'm not gonna have a subdued palette or anything like that. So now keep in mind, a lot of this is going to get covered up. I don't need to double. I don't need to double that. Okay, you guys, so what I am going to do now is I am going to place my features. And you could, you know, you can draw your features first and then put the collage. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So basically, you guys, I am going to apply my color kind of like a mosaic, and it is going to look a bit weird in the beginning. It really is, but that's okay. We're gonna trust the process. Okay, so what I am going to do here is I am just going to write this down, and it's called push and pull. Okay, and the push, so if you take your fingers and run it over your own face, anything that recedes, so say your eye sockets, you know, underneath your lip, there's kind of a part that just recedes, that is going to generally be cool colors. And anything that protrudes from your face, like it comes out of your face, so say your nose, that is going to be warm colors. Now, obviously, even within the nose, there are parts that are going to recede and there are parts that are going to come forward. So we're just gonna generally go with anything you want to push is going to be cool and anything you want to pull is going to be warm. Now, of course, there are masters who they know this rule and they break it so that you can have cool colors. You know, like say Van Gogh, for instance, I believe like he used to use cool colors in his portraits, but he would use it in such a masterful way that it would he would use it on parts of the face that protruded. But of course, you know, I'm not a master, so we're gonna stick to this, you know, push, pull, and the push is gonna be cool, the pull is gonna be warm colors. And that's just a general rule of thumb. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to now kind of apply my colors like a mosaic. And it is going to look a bit weird, but that's okay. Now I have some of this Dilutions ink, and I think it is in like an ultramarine blue, but you can use, you know, whatever you have. I'm just using what I have. So I'm just kind of... I'm gonna, like the eye sockets over there, so I'm just gonna kind of go like that. Now all this part over here is going to recede because it's like, so your face is a sphere, and so, you know, this top part here, it's all going to recede a little bit. This is gonna recede, and I'm just like working really fast. And so you guys, where you know, I can post photographs on my YouTube channel. I did post like an in progress 3 photos of this portrait right here as I was painting it. But if you go to my Instagram account, I could post more pictures. So you can just see how it progressed if you're interested. And it does look messy, but that's okay. So this is like a very kind of a playful, fun kind of an approach here. And it's going to get on the collage a little bit. That's okay. And I'm not going to worry so much about the hair right now. I'm just leaving the hair alone for right now. And I'm going to leave the dress alone as well. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to start adding some more colors, but it's going to look a little bit disjointed. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some yellow, and I'm going to use kind of a bright yellow. This is actually an Italian brand, and it's permanent yellow. So it's kind of like a deep yellow. And I'm just going to start just laying some colors over here. Oops. Now that's going to turn green because of yellow and blue, but that's okay. And as you can see, you guys, I am working kind of fast, and I'm just going to use some of my Liquitex ink here. And my main goal is just to get some different colors in. And you guys, skin color is very complex. And it doesn't matter what color of skin you're painting, there are a ton of different colors that go into it. And, you know, different artists use different, they have like a set palette or, you know, regular skin colors that they use. And so I want some reds in there. And as you can see, things are looking a little rough here, but that's okay. I'm going to kind of drag that in there. Okay, you guys, this is looking a little bit rough, but as you can see, you know, the face is taking shape. So I'm going to leave this right here. I am going to let it dry naturally, and I'm going to come back to it. So if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.